Before moving to Spain from America, I bought an affordable house in Asturias and made it completely mine. I just pulled up the wire transfers from the house purchase. The owners of the house were a brother, a sister, and a cousin, so we had to wire each of them their portion of the purchase price. We bought this house for $192,958.77. In today's euros, that's $166,449. We also set aside $100,000 to renovate the house. Stay till the end so you can know if that $100,000 was enough. So this is the kitchen. This is the space that, except for where I film, this is the space that I spend the most time in the house. This room was actually a storage room when we bought the house, and this room specifically is the reason why we did a lot of renovations on this floor, the ground level of the house. When you buy a house that is older, that needs care, and specifically this house that hadn't been lived in for 12 years, there are a lot of issues that you'll encounter. And one that we had was this room would flood when it would rain. So what we went ahead and did is dug down into the ground floor. We put some channels under the house, and this floor is actually lifted up, even though we have these very high ceilings in this space. And this kitchen is very small, especially compared to what I had back in the US, but this kitchen is actually perfect for us. So let me show you around. We have cutting boards. This was actually from the store that we own, Studio Coming. This is an olive wood cutting board. You can see part of the olive wood here. I love this cutting board. For me, I really want to find old things that are beautiful that I can repurpose to be helpful in our home. So this tarot de botica, it actually stores my wooden utensils. So I have a lot of olive wood utensils, and then the other utensils that are not olive wood go in this pink one. And they're both really special. Neither one had a lid, and it just made sense for them to hold utensils and cutlery. This makes grating garlic so easy, and it's so aesthetically pleasing. I used IKEA to make sure that I could have an affordable kitchen, and it took several months for us to come up with this layout. A big part of what took so long to discover this layout was that I didn't know how I would use this kitchen, and I didn't want to overextend myself with regards to money. And iteration after iteration, this layout that we've come up with is very useful. Would I change some things if I had to do it all over again? Maybe. What would I change? I would probably ask for deeper cabinets here for more storage. These are all of our dishes. It's not a lot. We're a family of three. I would definitely do deeper cabinetry over here. I do remember that this space specifically had limitations based on weight. So maybe pull this cabinet all the way down. I don't know how that would look. But over here, I'm looking forward to us installing a black backsplash that's reflective, because this space kind of feels lost. But let me show you my favorite part about this space. I like to think of it as my tea station. Right here, I just made some jasmine tea. I have my different little tea vessels depending on what types of tea I'm looking for. This is my newest addition to the collection. This is so that I can make mint tea. I have a lot of these containers. I sold them at our store, Studio Coming, and these are Hendrix bottles that have been recycled into storage containers. So you'll see them all over the place. We have three here. We have sweeteners and sugars and teas in these. This is an antique tile that I bought. It was broken. It's a bullfighter scene. It is so special and beautiful. And we just keep it up here in the corner. And I just want it to be a space where everywhere you look, something special may catch your eye. One of my favorite things in Asturias are the black ceramics by Lamas Don Moro. We have a lot of it throughout the house. My favorite of the black ceramics here are the ones that have the gray tone to them. Because of the way they fire the clay, the tone is different. Sometimes it's completely soot black. Other times it'll have this silver sheen to it. My favorites are the ones with the silver sheen to them. We sold these at our store, Studio Coming, as well. You'll find these all throughout Asturias. Right off of my kitchen is my dining room. This dining set we found in an antique store, and we brought it into our home. We bought it before the renovation was complete. And if I were to give any advice about renovating a home, do not buy furniture until your renovation is complete. Even if you think that you know exactly where it's going to fit, there's two pieces of furniture that we bought that should have waited. And this was one of them. Had I waited for the renovation to be complete, this table would not be square. We would have bought a dining set with a round table instead. No, these lights are one of my favorite things that I bought. I bought these from the south of Spain. These are one of the things I bought before the renovation was complete, but I knew I needed a light for the dining room, and I thought these were so special. They are Asturian in absolutely no way. This is more typical of southern Spain. This is where you see the Arab influence. In Asturias, you see the Celtic influence. We brought this painting from the US. It's of the Florida Everglades. It's a beautiful painting, and it just has a touch of my mom in it because it was a gift from her. Here, little lamp. I believe I got it from Zara. I think it was from Zara, and it's just a little touch lamp. For a long time, this really fit my house in the US. I don't know if it quite fits here, but it's something that I just enjoy. My first Christmas here, this is the gift I wanted, and my husband got it for me. As we scour antique stores, I find these books, and I just think they're just so special. Um, the beauty in the book, the beauty in the images within the book. There's poems, things about Asturian culture, and I just love collecting these types of books. This is the size where it could be a coffee table book, but we don't really have a coffee table here. I'll show you the living room next. Should I have held off on the couch as a piece of furniture to buy after the renovation? Absolutely. Am I happy that I got it? Absolutely. This couch has storage in both sides, so it's really helpful. One of the biggest challenges moving from the States is understanding storage. The whole flow of life is different here, so you're more about going to the store when you need things. And in the culture that I come from, it's more about having those things on hand. It's very different. It's a habit that I haven't eliminated from my life, but living in the countryside, I don't think it's a habit that I'm really going to fall out of. So I do have a lot of storage in the house, and this couch is one of the pieces that I have storage with. If people don't need to see what it is, then let's just put it away. And so I forget where I got this. I got this here in Spain, but this little box, it is so stunning. And this is where I have my husband put away all his little things, just simple things to put things away. Like stick it in a box, a pretty box, and everything is good. And I've shown you this before, but this is where we put all of our coats and our shoes. So this is family shoes. It's never pretty inside, but when the door is closed, it looks fantastic. And then you have boots, slippers, all the things that you need to help with guests, as well as hats and bicycle helmets and boots. We live in the countryside, so you'll always see at the bottom here we have boots, but then we also have weights and things just so that everything is here, easily accessible. The space in the house that we mop the floor mostly would be here. The space in the house that we vacuum mostly, I'm going to show you next. This is where my husband's activities are stored. So he loves astronomy. That's one of his loves that he had when I met him. This whole side is filled with astronomy things. His eyepieces, his star maps, things like that live in this space. And then on this side is cleaning supplies. This is where I film. You see me here all the time on these videos. So let me share some stuff that I love about this space. This space was not the original space I filmed in. That was upstairs in the attic, and I was experiencing a lot of noise from up there. So we moved down here. It is bright and sunny. You'll see it in the videos when sometimes I'll leave the windows open and you'll see the light changing, even though I have these two lights here that give me a lot of light. I'm a chocolate chip, and this chocolate chip takes a lot of lighting to light so you can actually see me on the screen. And that coupled with me wearing glasses, it's a really hard thing to light. I am a hard human to light, but I think I figured it out. And I just have to remember when filming to put both window shades down so that my face does not become a distraction. Now, when we're shooting these videos for Asturico, when we're going out and just sharing with you what we find special about Asturias, I use a gift that I bought myself when I worked at Tesla. Um, my hobby for a very long time has been photography since I'm a little girl. And I bought this camera. It took me a long time to pull the trigger on the purchase, but I've had it ever since, and I'm so happy with it. This camera is my Leica Q2. A lot of the imagery that you see that is photography will come from here. I do have a secondary camera that I use out in the field, and this is when I want to capture people in a dynamic way. We wanted to be in the country. We lived in the city in Orlando, and we wanted to be in the countryside. The original intention for this home was to be a vacation home, and now that it's switched, I'm very pleased that we do have a home in the country because it's allowed us to create our own huerto and grow our own food in the garden, and it's given us all these opportunities. Now, when buying this house, we knew we had a lot of work to do on it. We had budgeted ourselves $100,000, 100,000 euros, excuse me. But between when we made that budget and when everything was being executed, the prices of everything went up. So our original budget, the money that we had set aside, didn't go as far as it could have. I would like to think that everything went up in price at least 50%. So um, while we had a budget and we were very strategic about everything that we were doing, the fact that the permits took so long, pl price fluctuations really affected us, and the part of Asturias that we're in, there was a lot of construction going on, so not only did the permitting take a long time, but securing, craftspeople who could actually execute on what we needed was also a challenge, so with that, it does change your budget a bit. So we have taken on certain projects on our own. A lot of stuff we're not really confident with. We have our own skill set. Other people have their own skill sets. And it's something that we will do slowly. And we will maybe make mistakes and maybe we'll do something that isn't visually appealing. But once it's done, I think we'll have this space in a way that will be so cozy and so refreshing that we'll never want to leave, and as it is now, the house is so cozy that we never wanna leave. There are days where we have to say to ourselves, "We need to get out, we need to go and socialize," because being in the country, it's actually quite easy, not to see people who don't live in our house with us, so that's a new habit that we have to get rid of. But I hope you enjoyed, seeing the house and seeing what it's like buying an affordable house, and why we did it. I mean, it was really important for us to have this space and make it a space that, um, is relaxing and is calming, and that is very much what this space is. Anyway, I hope you enjoyed. I'll see you in the next video.